If she says she doesn't want it, leave her alone. Do you understand? So that's your job as a man who is really for the feminism movement. That's what I think.
Hello and welcome to Robin Minds Plus. My name is Desmond, and today on Robin Minds Plus, we're talking everything feminism, and I'm joined by two fantastic guests. First, we're joined by Chidinma.
Hi guys.
Who's a communications expert and account manager with Red Media Africa.
Yep.
And we're also joined by Ifreke Nyang.
Yes.
A media,
Bobo to Bobo.
everything. Would you, media personality, enthusiast?
That kind of thing.
But yeah, so first question, what is feminism to you?
I think feminism has just one meaning. People like to argue that there are various meanings and like people have their different opinions of what feminism is. But ultimately, I think feminism is the fight for equality for both sexes. However, like my president, Chimamanda, said, if you're going to fight for something, you need to name the problem. And the problem here is that it is women who have been marginalized, it is women who have been treated unfairly. So feminism really is the fight for women to be treated as human beings, for our rights to be recognized and taken seriously. That's what feminism is to me.
You mentioned that women who have been marginalized.
Yeah.
So does this take away some certain women who haven't been marginalized from this movement? Does he exclude some women? There's some women that cannot relate with some of the fights, like, they are heads of their families. They've not been marginalized by society because of maybe their backgrounds and all of that. So does it exclude them from the fight?
No, I don't think anybody is excluded from the fight for feminism, because the thing is, freedom for one is freedom for all. You cannot fight for a particular set of women, right? So, and then I think that it just takes you to be in certain positions for you to see that your gender would actually hinder you from certain things.
Do you consider yourself as feminist?
Yes, I do.
How so?
Because I believe that everybody should have equal opportunities to everything in life, whatever you want to do. Your gender should not stop you. You know, I'm also of the bias that females generally know how to do things better than men, but they don't get these opportunities. So because you see the men do them, over time, men have become the ones known for doing these things. So they have become a male-dominated thing. You know? So when women come there, they're like, you shouldn't be here. But I actually feel that when women get into those spaces and do those things, they're actually better at doing them, because women are kind of emotive and they bring their entire being. While we are just like work people, money-oriented, women bring their emotions to it, and they have better judgment generally. Slightly always more intelligent than men. That's what I think.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So I feel like, what he said, like this opinion is very popular amongst men. Especially the saying what a man can do, a woman can do better. I think it's very patronizing. I don't want the fight for feminism to end up getting to the point where women are now, we finally get the equality that we desire because people think that we can do better. We're not trying to fix the mess that men have made, right? We're just trying to be viewed as human beings, not because we are better off or we can do certain things better or we are more gifted at certain things, right? I don't think gender has anything to do with you being able to do things better. If you're equipped, if you know how to do it, you can deliver on that particular thing. So it has nothing to do with your gender. But the problem is that women are not even given the opportunities to, solve these problems. So we should not be given the opportunity because people feel like we can correct the mess that men have made in the past. We just want to be given the opportunity because we want it, and that's enough reason, right, to want those things and to get access to them as well. So the ideology that women do certain things better than men is because number one, it also puts us on a certain kind of pedestal that I don't want us to be on, right? So women are now held to higher standards. Oh, you're a woman, you should be able to figure this out, you should be able to have all the answers to all these things. But what if I don't? What if I don't want to have the answers to these things, right? So I just think that we are not better, right? We are just all human beings. So the problem here is that some human beings, men, have been allowed access to certain things that we don't have access to. So don't give it to us because we can do it better. What if we can't? And it has nothing to do with our gender, really.
But really, it's an opinion that I hope that, first I said that it's okay for them to have this opportunity, so I'm not even against them for it. And so it's a personal opinion I have that I think women might do it better. It's not that they're necessarily better people, but because by the time you actually fight to get there, you come there and bring a different skill set, if men have been doing it for a long time, I'm not saying go and fix the mess. It's like you come there with different skill sets, because you're wired differently and you're going to do it differently. And so I feel that we need to see a lot more of that. It doesn't mean that you're going to be excellent, you won't make mistakes at them, because generally you're a human being, and so everybody will have faults and weaknesses and fail and everything. But it all boils down to the access to those spaces, those opportunities. Really.
All right. Speaking about access, you're a communications expert. Have you ever had been in a position or a situation where you didn't get certain things because of your gender?
I haven't been in that position yet. And that's because, fresh out of school, I started working. So I've been working for like a little over a year. So I still have enough time in my future I don't doubt that I'm going to experience. It's bound to happen at some point. But thankfully, right out of school, I've been in a good organization where gender doesn't limit anything or anybody. So, but then it doesn't still discard the reality that this is something that women face every day. So your gender is going to hinder you from certain things. There's certain conversations that will come up that your name will not be mentioned just because you're a woman.
Okay, fantastic. So you also, he identified as you identified as feminist. And we had a conversation earlier, and I also said, I don't know if I'm a feminist, but then I'm very particular about all of these topics. So, and you called me an ally. Can men be feminists?
I don't think men can be feminists, to be honest, because I think, like what you said earlier, when you said you were a feminist and then I called you an ally, I don't think men can be feminists because men have this thing in them where they just want to take. So if you give them the opportunity to identify as feminist, or if a man calls himself a feminist, they take it upon themselves to own that movement. And especially because they don't really understand. I think men should just focus on empathizing and listening to other women, because there's so much unlearning that even we as women need to do, and men need to do it times two, because their privilege allows them access to so many things that they might not even see that there's that there are problems in certain things, that you cannot say these kinds of things or you can't do this type of things. So I just feel like men just need to sort of create that environment that allow women to want more for themselves and to be more generally. So I think, and that's more of being an ally than being, because if men become feminists, there's this, I feel like they're just going to take over the entire thing and make it, so it stops centering, like it stops being about the women and the problem that we're trying to solve.
For instance, there's something I got off Facebook. I think it was Joyce Ibewaji, I don't know if you know.
I don't know.
She's a top, you should check her out on Facebook. There's something she put on her page and it really spoke to me. And she said she has 2 daughters. She says, when my daughters are old enough for conversation, I'm going to teach them to be like Shonda Rhimes, to be like Serena Williams, to stand in boardrooms, to lead wars, to conquer, to be complete, to know that they don't need men in their life to become who they are. Because of course we've raised women to become like if they are half, so that you need a man to come in and complete them. So if I believe in that school of thought, does it make me a feminist or ally? Because this is the first time I'm hearing this ally angle. I've always thought to myself that if I wanted equality for women, if I fought for it, if I canvassed for it, it makes me a feminist. But you're now saying that men can't be feminists, that they have to be allies. So if I encourage women around me, every time I'm in a conversation with a woman who is not given opportunity, who feels a certain way about herself, and encourage her to be the best, to fight for this opportunity, to become this, to do that, and also raise my daughter that way, does that make me a feminist or an ally?
I think that makes you an ally. So you're trying to create an environment where women can be better versions of themselves. So the problem I have with men really identifying as feminist is, I don't think, I mean, you have to experience the problem for you to, number one, even acknowledge that it's a problem and then prefer solutions to these things. So there's only so much that you can know as a man because you're from the outside looking in. But we know where it hurts, like we know where the real problems are. I don't know, there was this popular, there was a conversation that was going on one time about when someone popular said how he's very deliberate about not hiring women because of temptation and all of that. Now the average man will listen to that conversation and it would seem harmless. Because I mean, you're looking at it from a place of privilege. That would probably never be your story as a man. Do you understand? But I'm a woman and I'm listening to that conversation and it hurts me because I'm looking for a job, looking for a means to earn a living, and you're sexualizing me. This is just me existing, and that's already a problem. I can't get into certain rooms, I can't have certain conversations just because of my gender. Now, the average man would not understand it, and it's not entirely his fault because, I mean, he was born into privilege. That will probably never happen to him, and that will probably never be a problem that we would ever have to think about. So your job as feminist allies is really to listen to women, to listen to their problems, because you would not always get it. And it might not always make sense to you because that's not your reality. But then it doesn't also cancel the fact that this is what women, lots of women all over the world face all the time. So allyship really is about creating that environment and also talking to your fellow men and letting them know that, oh, this thing, it might not make sense to you because, and first of all, understanding your privilege as a man. Because I doubt that this situation, like you as a man trying to apply for a job and then the woman is telling you that, oh, you're not getting it because you're a temptation, right? So I doubt that would ever be a problem that you would have. And that's a privilege, and you must first acknowledge that it is a privilege that you have. And then start looking at it from there. Speak to your fellow men. Don't do this, don't say this. If she says she doesn't want it, leave her alone. Do you understand? So that's your job as a man who is really for the feminism movement. That's what I think.
Clarity. So I can't identify as a feminist. I'm a feminist ally. But I mean, I'm all for equality. I'm all for women getting what they want, and like you're saying, in conversation, because there's a consistency in what I say, what I believe in. I used to tell people I'm a grown man, so I've come to a point where the things I believe in, I'm steeped in them. So it doesn't matter if I'm talking to a woman or a man. What I say, like conversations are consistent across gender.
But do you think that the feminist movement is most times on Twitter and even physical meets, there's that conversation about it being angry. Even I was attended this festival, and then Mona Eltahawy had the panel, and then she told everybody to stand up, and then we're like, fuck the patriarchy. And then I had a conversation because I posted a video of me saying fuck the patriarchy, and I posted the video on my Instagram, and somebody had a conversation with me and saying that why were everybody in the room, why did they seem angry? And that's a conversation that always pops up when when the feminism topic comes up. There's always that, why are you angry? Chimamanda, she's always angry. Mona Eltahawy, always angry. A few other people that are known for this movement. So why? First you.
Also, I think it comes from the heart. People express their emotions differently. I don't think Chimamanda comes across as angry. She comes across
She's a pleasant woman.
I love her.
She's so pleasant, like
she's so
angry,
intelligent, so calm, as if she's just having a chat with a sister. She's just very cool. I don't know about the other people. And that's why I like Chimamanda, because if you are, and this is me personally, this is not like a general thing. If you have something to fight for, it's dialogue. It doesn't mean there's a problem here, you don't need to know, you break it down, you explain, and Chimamanda does great work in doing that. Not say fuck patriarchy and do hashtag and look at it. It's not a fight, it's not a competition. But I can understand when people want to be angry about it because maybe from years of, I mean, this new wave of feminism has kind of given people a voice, so they've been quiet for a while. So now it's like they're really venting out, like, fuck whatever, feminism, women are the future, all of that. But that's not what it is.
Do you agree?
that
about, do you think the feminist movement is angry? Is it angry movement?
Of course, I think that we are angry. And I also think that we have every right in the world to be angry. I recently wrote a Medium post about this entire thing. And a line in that post says, "Stay angry, queens." Because I think that the anger is going to give us the change that we want to see. And I also think that there's a problem. And the problem is that, let's be honest, the people who say that we are angry are mostly men. And what they want is for us to sit, mostly men, yes. So what they want is for us to sit down with them, hold their hands. They don't want to do any work. Feminism is very easy to understand. I mean, Google it, pick up a book, listen to your sisters, listen to women around you, and you'll find out that there's actually a problem. But first, and the thing is that men are now they don't want to acknowledge that there is a problem to start with. They don't want to research on what this problem is. Even if you don't want to speak to people around you, go on Google and figure it out. But no, they want you to be calm and nice. But how can you tell somebody who has been oppressed for so long? You've watched your mother be oppressed. You've watched your grandmother be oppressed. And you want us to be nice about it. That's an unfair, I mean, like, it's impossible. Like, it can't be done. So I think that anger is not always a bad thing. Anger can spur change. And it has. We've seen it work over the past couple of years. Like, we've seen this thing work. So it's not the anger that leads to some sort of violence. It's the anger that makes people take responsibility for things. So women are saying it's enough.
Give me my pillow back. I'm still feminist and feminist ally, right?
Yeah.
So-called.
All right, it's been a fantastic episode on Rubbing Minds Plus, and thank you so much, Chidinma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ifreke, and see you on the next. Bye.